Can classic horror movies age like fine wine? What's up, YouTube? It's your main man, MuTwinz here, back with another horror movie review. You can find the whole discussion and review on my Twitch channel, link in the description below. On this video, we actually discuss my first impressions on the original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Let's check it out. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Very small cast, acting not the best, but it got the job done. But just the build up to what's to happen in the movie, and then when it starts happening, it's just non-stop, full force action. Group of kids are just traveling, going to a cabin. Kind of need gas. They pick up a hitchhiker. Very creepy interaction with one human being. Little side note here. I said the acting is not good, but just at this particular part within the movie when they pick up the hitchhiker, very disturbing. The close-ups on the actor or the hitchhiker's face as far as what he's doing and what's going on. And then like the quick shots to like the reaction of like the travelers' faces too when they pick up this hitchhiker. It's just very disturbing. Like I said, they need gas, so as they keep going on, they eventually find a house. They don't find what they're looking for. But the people who are living there find what they're looking for, and that is a group of stupid kids willing to knock on their door. And with that being said, mayhem is unleashed upon them, one by one. And then also introduced is Leatherface. Very creepy and also just very kind of a mysterious character too, because he doesn't really talk. You really don't know what's like wrong with him, just that he's, crazy. Obviously comes from a very, very creepy family. Everyone that you kind of meet along the way is all eventually revealed that they're all part of the same family and is responsible for all the kind of craziness that's been going around in the town. They like interact with each other very immaturely, and you can tell that they're kind of like isolated within their home a lot and just act very childish around each other. It's kind of funny because like there is like a little bit of a comedy break when they're actually talking with each other and just like screwing around too, just because it is kind of funny. But like the dinner scene, very disturbing because there's some things that come into play that is kind of gross along the lines of like Leatherface as a character. I know there's been a bunch of movies down the road that have attempted to give us more in depth of how Leatherface became to be how he is, as far as like upbringing and almost like the psychological toll and how he's become the psychopath killer he is. But the 1974 original of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is perfect because that's why he's such a great character, is because he doesn't really need a backstory in a sense. Just the scenes within the movie, or at least the information that you're given at the start until you kind of like meet him. It's kind of all you really need to kind of like form what has happened to him. At the start of the movie, it kind of attempts to kind of give you a backstory of what's going on. And then you can hear radio in the background of graves being dug up and the bodies taken. And then one of the first shots when it goes right into the movie is an actual dead corpse mounted on a gravestone. And even that, for being such an old movie, not the makeup, but the practical effects for that dead body, it's very gross and disgusting to see, but it kind of sets the tone of what's to come in the movie. This movie is very, very minimalistic with its practical effects, but it does a really good job with the use of its environment. How hot it was outside in the daytime. Also, once you get into the house, how disgusting it is, especially when they're at the dinner table. And even prior to that, when they're in like Leatherface's killing room or butcher room, if you will, with all the body parts, skeletons, and then the mixture of animal and human skeletons, and just it's very, very off-putting and very disturbing too. And it just gives you a sense of what Leatherface is capable of. It's actually one of the most disturbing horror movies I've actually seen. There's a lot of iconic pieces to this movie that make it a classic and also stand out in the horror genre even today. I would even say the opening scene when he's introduced, when he's coming out of like his cellar, and the fact when he kills his first victim and slams the cellar door. It's iconic just because that's when it's introduced. That's when you first see and also understand what you're getting into in the movie, especially going into the movie like cold and not knowing what's going on. Because the first victim doesn't know what's going on either. He's actually just trying to see if anyone's home. And then you see this guy coming out with a huge mallet and leather skin face, or mask, I should say. Terrifying. And even like the ending scene when the last victim, the girl, is getting away and just with their crazy, almost happy but nervous laugh and Leatherface's dance of defeat, if you will. It's iconic. It's off-putting. It's kind of doesn't make any sense, but it works, and that's what makes a great horror movie, I think. A well-crafted horror movie, leaving you wondering what just happened or what's going to happen. And that's why I think this movie alone made so many other adaptations to it, whether they're series or movies. It's just they wanted to explain this first movie. This movie stands out to me more than the rest just because it is fantastic and deeply disturbing at the same time.